Yesterday I set up this 29-gallon tank with the intention of quarantining a Madagascar rainbow fish in it as a gift for my friend Charles. He has some species of rainbow fish that look similar to a Madagascar rainbow fish. He has 4 or 5 of them, but I don't believe it's the same. And they had a Madagascar rainbow fish on offer at my local pet store when I visited it yesterday. And I asked the manager of the fish department if he would hold it for a day while I set up a quarantine tank, and he agreed to do so. So yesterday I had already painted the back of this tank black, and it has the black silicone that I like, and I sorted a plastic hood with LEDs and a filter, installed a heater, got the temperature right. In addition to gravel, I added some of the coal slag and compost substrate from an established tank and used the sponges from the hang on the back filter from that tank as well. And I filled the tank with about 10 gallons of used aquarium water and maybe a little less of tap water that had been sitting for several days so that the chlorine would have already evaporated. And then I topped it off with tap water and added some dechlorinator. However, after 24 hours, the tank does have 0.25 parts per million of ammonia. And as it turns out, Charles is not interested in acquiring more rainbow fish. So I called the pet store and said, well, the deal's off. Doesn't look like my friend wants any more rainbow fish. So at the moment I have a 29-gallon quarantine tank that's almost ready. It should complete the nitrogen cycle fairly quickly with all the beneficial bacteria in the used substrate that I added and the sponges from an established tank in the hang on the back filter. The 29-gallon tank in which I'm holding fish that Charles purchased from someone who wanted to get out of the hobby is coming along nicely. I've gotten most of the pest snails out of the tank. I still find a couple each day. And the inhabitants are doing quite well. I hadn't suffered any losses. I am going to have to remove female guppies or guppy Endler livebearer hybrids from the tank to stop the inbreeding that's going on with the Poecilia now that they are sexable. I can see a gravid spot on a few of them. There are some fry that are still not sexable, but as they become gender specific, I can go ahead and remove the females. He has a breeding colony of Poecilia, and since the prize males in that tank are not related to this stock, I believe that we can stop the offspring from developing curved spines from inbreeding. I was surprised to see the Daisy's blue rice fish will devour desiccated Indian almond leaf. There's the remnants of one in the far left corner. The pest snails and the otocinclus enjoy munching on the desiccating Indian almond leaf, but I was surprised today to see that the Daisy's blue rice fish also like to grab a tuft of that and munch on it. That's a very good addition to a tank. Only have a couple in the 29 gallons, so they are not exuding enough tannin to turn the water brown. There are a couple of brown Kuhli loach. Well, they're called black Kuhli loach, but they're really brown in color. The point is they don't have stripes in the tank, but they tend to stay hidden in the hardscape. I'm hopeful that they will get enough sustenance from sinking pellets and the like, as I am making every effort to remove all the pest snails. I understand that Kuhli loach like to eat snails, but they need to move on to better fare, as I'm averse to having pest snails in the tank.